Have you ever wondered why some women seem to melt into your presence, not because of what you do, but because of what you don't do? There's a strange gravity in calmness, a quiet confidence that doesn't demand to be seen, yet cannot be ignored. When a man stands still in himself, unmoved by validation and untouched by the chase, something ancient in her stirs. She feels the safety of presence, the strength that doesn't need to prove itself. And in that stillness, she begins to reveal herself. Not out of performance, but out of remembrance. A woman's heart is not conquered through pursuit. It unfolds through resonance. Her attraction is not born in the noise of desire, but in the silence where she feels seen without words, when she laughs too easily, touches your arm as she speaks, or lingers in your gaze longer than reason allows. It's not seduction, it's surrender, subtle, unconscious, almost sacred, because a woman does not give herself to control, but to understanding. She yields not to force, but to the man who knows his own depths, who carries peace in his posture and awareness in his eyes. Female psychology at its core is rhythmic, emotional, intuitive, alive. She feels before she thinks. And when a man meets her without the need to possess, she feels her own essence reflected in him. He becomes the mirror she can finally trust. The paradox is that attraction begins the moment control ends. When she senses that your attention isn't a weapon but a witness, she relaxes into her softness. And that softness is the real invitation. So if she begins to talk more, to laugh in your pauses, to seek your presence without reason, she's already begun to fall, not for your words, but for your energy. You've given her something rare, the safety to be feminine in a world that keeps asking her to be hard. What most men don't understand is that a woman doesn't fall for a man. She falls into herself when she's around him. She falls into the part of her that remembers softness, trust, and peace. She falls into her natural rhythm again. The man simply becomes the catalyst, the mirror that reflects her essence back to her. This is why women can say, there's just something about him, and never quite explain it. It isn't logic, it's energy. When a woman feels that she doesn't have to perform, she breathes differently. Her laughter changes tone, her eyes soften, she becomes present, and in that presence, she begins to attach, not because she's been impressed, but because she feels understood, without needing to speak. Her walls don't crumble, they dissolve slowly, naturally. You can see it in the way she starts to listen with her whole body, how her guard lowers in your silence. She begins to confide, not to gain sympathy, but because she senses your stillness can hold what she has long kept hidden. The feminine longs to pour, to express, to flow, but she can only do so where there is a container strong enough to receive her. A man who is rooted, who isn't thrown off by emotion, becomes that vessel, not by dominance, but by presence. And the irony is, the moment you stop trying to make her yours, she feels she already is. Because ownership dissolves the magic, but freedom keeps it alive. The feminine opens not through effort, but through permission. Permission to feel safe, to be seen, to exist in her fullness without fear of being too much. That's why when she leans into you, touches your hand without reason, or looks for your eyes after every joke, it's her body speaking the truth her mind can't yet name. She's already with you, somewhere beneath language, where the dance of energy has already chosen its rhythm. When a woman begins to trust your silence more than your promises, you've entered her emotional landscape. Words are easy to counterfeit. Presence is not. Presence is the one currency that never devalues. And she can sense instantly whether you possess it or pretend to. The feminine has always known the difference between attention and awareness. One flatters the ego, the other nourishes the soul. And here lies the paradox of attraction. She is drawn not to the man who fills her emptiness, but to the one who doesn't fear it. Most men rush to fix, to comfort, to convince, but the one who simply stands there, still, grounded, unshaken by her storms, teaches her something profound. That love is not control, that closeness does not mean loss of self, that vulnerability can be sacred when held, not solved. If she laughs a little louder around you, it's because she feels her spirit expanding. If her eyes dart to yours in a crowded room, it's not habit, it's instinct. You've become her emotional compass, the place her nervous system feels at home. It's not a conscious decision, it's a biological surrender. She's aligning herself to your rhythm, synchronizing to the calm pulse of your energy. But this power is fragile. Not in her, but in your reaction to it. The moment you start grasping, it slips away. The more you try to capture what is already flowing toward you, the more it retreats. True attraction cannot be caged. It deepens in mystery. You do not win her heart by chasing. You invite it by staying. Because what she's truly seeking is not the thrill of being pursued, but the peace of being understood. Not the chaos of emotion, but the still point beneath it. In your calm, she rediscovers her own clarity. In your silence, she hears her own truth. And in that moment, she realizes she doesn't need to fall in love. She's already standing in it. There comes a moment, subtle and wordless, when she stops wondering if you like her and begins feeling that she is safe with you. This is the threshold most men never cross because they are too busy performing strength rather than embodying it. True strength is not loud. It's not the firmness of tone or the confidence of posture. It's the absence of fear in the presence of emotion. A woman's greatest test is not to see if you can impress her, but if you can contain her, her joy, her anger, her confusion, her tenderness. When she sees that you do not run, flinch, or fight what rises in her, something ancient inside her exhales. You have entered the sacred space of feminine surrender, not submission, but trust. Trust that she can exist in her full, unfiltered expression without being judged or diminished. And that's when it happens. The subtle shift from curiosity to devotion. She starts mirroring your energy, not out of pretense, but resonance. She begins to crave your silence as much as your words. She remembers the way her body relaxes near you and starts seeking that feeling again and again. This is not manipulation, it's magnetism, the natural alignment of two energies that recognize each other beyond the mind. She'll test you, not because she doubts you, but because she needs to see if your calm is real. Her storms will rise, a word, a tone, a moment of withdrawal. And she'll watch to see if you waver, if you meet her chaos with stillness, you become her sanctuary. But if you meet it with defensiveness, the spell breaks. Because for the feminine, love is not proven, it is felt. And when she feels that you remain whole in the presence of her waves, she begins to trust that she can be oceanic around you. No pretending, no shrinking, just flow meeting form, emotion meeting awareness. The dance that has existed since the beginning of time. And then something unspoken happens. She begins to orbit you, not out of need, but out of gravity. The more still you become, the more she moves toward you. The more detached you are from the outcome, the deeper she leans in. This is the paradox that confuses those who chase. What you cling to escapes, but what you release returns on its own. You see, the feminine is not captured through persuasion or possession. She is drawn to what liberates her, not confines her. When she feels your energy isn't trying to get something from her, but simply be with her, she experiences freedom. And freedom is the most intoxicating form of love. when she talks endlessly about small things, about the song that reminded her of you, the dream she had, the way she thought she saw you somewhere. Understand, she's not seeking conversation. She's seeking connection. She's trying to stay in that energetic field where she feels alive, reflected, and whole. But the secret is this: you cannot fake presence. You can mimic confidence, charm, even empathy, but presence cannot be performed. It is the stillness that comes from knowing that nothing is missing, that no validation will ever add to what's already whole. And when you stand in that wholeness, she senses it instantly. Her body relaxes, her breath deepens, her laughter changes. You become the grounding to her current, the still point around which her emotions can safely dance. She may try to resist it, rationalize it, even deny it, but her nervous system already knows. Attraction is not chosen, it is remembered. And here lies the truth most never understand. When she's drawn to you, she isn't falling for your surface, your looks, your charm, your words. She's falling for how she feels when she's with you. And that feeling is simply the reflection of your inner peace, mirrored through her feminine intuition. The woman who feels seen without explanation will always return to the one who made her remember herself. Eventually, every dance between the masculine and feminine returns to stillness, to the quiet understanding that what is meant to flow between them cannot be forced, and what is forced was never truly flowing. The deepest form of attraction is not built on pursuit, but on presence. It is not about convincing someone to stay, but allowing them to feel free enough to choose to. When a woman is drawn to you, it isn't because you've dazzled her, but because you've reminded her of peace. You've offered her a space where she no longer needs to prove her worth, where she can rest from the endless performance the world demands of her. Around you, her heart doesn't have to wear armor. She begins to rediscover her softness, and in doing so, she rediscovers herself. But this connection only deepens when you stop seeking to own it. The very moment you start needing her attention to define you, she feels the thread tighten and she'll pull away, because love dies in the grip of need, but blooms in the air of trust. The masculine that truly attracts does not consume. It creates space, it doesn't conquer, it calms. Let her come and go like the tide, for if it is real, she will always return, not because you held her tightly, but because you never tried to cage her at all. True connection is not a transaction of affection, but a reflection of essence. When you are at peace with yourself, you become magnetic. When you no longer chase validation, it finds you. And when you release the illusion of control, you finally taste freedom. The same freedom she feels when she's near you. The woman who knows her worth doesn't chase, she chooses.